I'm sorry, I'll try harder.
Hello, hey
Awareness.
girl, how you
What
doing?
is it?
Yes, I am doing a video tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight's topic will be about some of the things that I have seen where there are men who are hurting their families. Yes, it's not all about men, but these are the topics that caught my attention because they are in the news. And I want to talk about them. Okay, it's not picking or pointing, it's just bringing awareness. So tune in so we can be aware, okay? And we will be aware together, okay? All right, girl, bye. Hello,
Can some
everybody.
situations
How is
be
everybody
prevented?
doing? I hope everyone is having a good week. I know y'all overheard my conversation because I had it in front of y'all on purpose. I ain't trying to hide nothing. Joke. Anyway, so as I told my friend on the phone, tonight we're going to talk about awareness, but we're also going to talk about some things that are happening in the media that I'm noticing more and more. That's been happening anyway, but now that I'm talking about it, I'm going to talk about it, okay? But the first thing I want to make y'all aware of is awareness, because that's something that we seem to lack, okay? There's a lot of looking at everything, but being aware of your surroundings, being aware of the signs when your body is telling you something, when your mind is telling you something. We're not listening to ourselves, okay? So let's get started. This is what is that, a triangle? I found that basically kind of like details what awareness is. I'm going to be reading from something else on the screen, and then I'm going to go back to this. So I'll go ahead and share it if y'all want to see it, okay? So here it is. If anybody, I like to read, but I can be a lazy reader, okay? So this is why I'm sharing it with y'all and figuring if I got to read it, y'all do too. So here it is right now. So we're starting off with awareness. Awareness in its simplest form is the state of being conscious of something or someone, okay? So repeating it. It is the state of being conscious of something or someone. It encompasses both the knowledge that something exists and an understanding of its nature or significance, okay? This can range from basic sensory awareness of one's surroundings to a deeper understanding of complex issues or one's own thoughts and feelings. That's why I said sometimes I've noticed that a lot of people lack awareness. Okay? So now we have that all out, right? So let's start off with one. Basic awareness. This is basic. Just the fundamentals. This is the fundamental level of awareness involving sensory perception and the ability to register information from the environment. Okay, that's a heightened sense, being aware of your surroundings. When we get out there and get out there and get to feeling good, we have a tendency to forget our surroundings. That's how a lot of fights happen. Because people forget where they at, and then sometimes they forget who they fucking with. Another story for another day. Anyway, 2, cognitive awareness. This level involves understanding, reasoning, and making judgments about the information received. That when somebody give you information, how do you process it? Okay? How is your brain processing it? Are you getting the words that be coming out people's mouth? Okay. 3, this is my favorite. Self-awareness. This refers to the capacity to understand oneself, including one's own thoughts, feelings, and behavior. You got to know who you are, okay? I keep telling y'all that if you don't know who you are, where the hell you going? And who you going to be when you get there? Anyway, we're going to go on to 4. Bear with me. 4, we have awareness of others. Awareness of others. This involves understanding the thoughts, feelings, and perceptives of other people. I'm very sensitive to other people's emotions. I have a tendency to overcare about what other people feel to the extent where it affects how I am to myself. And I had to learn to step back because sometimes being aware, overly aware, people take advantage of that. Be careful. This is why I'm doing this video. 5, awareness as a process. Awareness can also be understood as a process of increasing knowledge and understanding about a specific topic or issue. Okay, I like to do hair. When I want to get more information on how to do it, I go online and do a little research, and voila, I have a new hairstyle. I don't got to pay anybody. Okay, that's what awareness as a process is. Okay, so I gave you guys examples that you guys should be able to understand. And there's also some key points there. Sensory awareness examples include feeling the sun on your skin. Cognitive awareness, understanding the plot of a book. Self-awareness, recognizing that you are feeling anxious, recognizing what you're feeling, identifying who you are, what you feel. That is very important because we don't follow our thought process and trust ourselves enough. And oftentimes we put in situations where we forget because we're so caught up and we lose awareness. You ever see how somebody might get into a fight and they don't even know that the person behind them about to sucker punch them because they're not aware. They're not aware. You got to be aware, baby. Eyes in the back. I got 4. I got 2 eyes, but technically 4. Then I got 2 more in the back of my head. I see everything. Okay? And awareness of others, recognizing that a friend is upset. That is me, like all the time, being aware of everyone else. And raising awareness, a public health campaign to educate people about the importance of vaccines. That was I don't know why I even said that. Scratch the last one. Anyway, now let's go on to the topic that we are going to discuss, which I'm going to put these in here for you guys to review. I'll put the pyramids in for you guys to see. This is a great depiction of how it works in your brain, the motivation, self-esteem, commitment, interpersonal awareness, decision-making, and empathy. My empathy is a little too big, but that's that for you guys to see. Here is an actual pyramid. Now, that is out of the way. Y'all know what awareness is. It's the first 6 minutes of the video. Skip it if you want. Now we're going to go into the stories that we're going to discuss. This story is in NPR. You have the reference article there.
Story 1.
Now this article is from June 10th because we're going back to the incident and then we're going to go to where we currently are today. Okay? So it's titled, "A Dad Accused of Killing His 3 Young Daughters is on the Run, and Here's What We Know." Federal authorities have taken over the search for Travis Decker, the father accused of kidnapping and unaliving his 3 young daughters at a campsite in Washington state. The Chelan County Sheriff Office, Chelan is spelled Chelan, office has been looking for Decker since the evening of May 30th. This happened in May. I just saw the article. Literally, okay? That's when his ex-wife, Whitney Decker, alerted police that their 3 daughters, Olivia, 5, Evelyn, 8, and Peyton, 9, had not returned from a planned visitation with him. So she had willingly gave them over to go be with him. She wasn't resisting him. She was allowing him to be with them. On June 1st, after a weekend of searching, law enforcement discovered Decker's empty vehicle near a campground in central Washington state and the bodies of his daughters nearby. Decker, 32, was nowhere to be found. Okay? The large-scale search for Decker has grown to involve state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies. Okay? One person said, "As a parent, my heart goes out to Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia's mom, Whitney. Mine too. And all those who love them." Ferguson wrote on Facebook, "The brutal unaliving of these young children has shocked our state." The U.S. Marshals are offering an award for up to 20,000 men. 20,000. Okay? You want money? Get out there and look for them. For information leading to Decker's arrest, they described Decker, a resident of Wenatchee, Wenatchee, as a former military member with extensive tactical training. So he's trained. Okay. Authorities say while it's not clear whether Decker is armed, he should be considered dangerous. I would say so. They are warning people to call 911 immediately if they spot him and not to approach. That's where I'm stopping with this article to go to the current article to where we are today. And let me say this. I'm not...
Stay tuned for EP2.
These are topics that affect everybody. That's why I did awareness first, because we need to be aware of things like this, that situations like this are happening out here. Okay? We need to know Mothers need to know